Hey party people! I'm sitting on my couch here in Chengdu, China, living it up Sichuan styles, but I recently visited Cambodia and I shot some really cool video there. You can check that out. My last video is about living in Kampot, Cambodia, which seems like a really good place to live. There's a lot of expats there, so you get a nice mixture of Eastern and Western cultures, including the food, which is what this video is about. I'm going to take you into one of the best restaurants in Kampot. It's called 23, and it's run by an expat named Owen. This guy knows cooking. He's classically trained. I had one of the best meals of my life there. And my friend Jesse interviews him, and then we get into his kitchen, and we get to watch him in action. It's quite magical watching him cook. So without further ado, here's Jesse and Owen. Jesse Owens, famous American track star, I believe.
So, Owen, why don't you tell us a little about why you started 23?
Well, we started 23. So basically, my business partner and I, Jeremy, he's not here right now, but we've been working together for a long time in the restaurant trade. We decided we had had enough of the West, basically, working for other people. We wanted to do something for ourselves. We traveled for a while and ended up in Cambodia, looked at the viabilities of it, saw how up and coming it was, and wanted to do something on the beach, but didn't quite work out. Saw Kampot and we're like, this is the place. We wanted to do like a relaxed restaurant, but higher end food. I did do purely Western food, modern contemporary as such, with fine dining techniques. So it's great to teach people new skills as well in the kitchen. I just hire Khmer staff in the kitchen only. So I'm teaching them how to make real stocks and sauces, how to fillet fish Western style, how to cook meat, especially steak and things like that. I've been cooking for 10 years. The seafood in Kampot is phenomenal. The market is great. So all my veg is locally sourced. All my fish is locally sourced. My pork is locally sourced. Beef, depending if I'm slow cooking it, I'll use local stuff. If I'm putting on a steak, I'll have to get the imported stuff because it's been aged properly. There's more fat in it. The market's still very localized. You know, you go in there and you have to speak Khmer and you have to work in Khmer real.
How's that going for you?
I'm really good with vegetables.
Yeah, you got that.
And bargaining and numbers and stuff like that.
What are their reaction to you bargaining with them when you're working with them?
In the beginning it was a lot harder, but now I'll say I've been going for almost 2 years now. It's getting a lot easier.
2 years that 23 has been here.
Yeah, coming up for 2 years soon.
You're right. So you're just before the big boom. Coming up on last year, there were over 100 new places in Cambodia. So what do you think of the boom?
The boom. I think it's only going to be good. There's going to be people that start up and don't get very far. It's the restaurant trade. It's a very fickle trade.
Right.
I could almost kind of compare it to the Hoi An of Vietnam.
Yeah.
You know, there's still a lot of good restaurants. There's a lot of nice places to go and sit and relax. You've got the river, you've got the old buildings. I don't think it'll change the way of the town either. I think people want it to be the quaint, relaxed, nice place to go. You're not going to have these nightclubs until stupid o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. It's not going that way, I don't think, at all, which is great.
The standard of the food and the quality that you get here is so high.
Yeah.
That it's really surprising when you go to places. Like, we didn't expect there to be like high-end class restaurants in a small Cambodian town. It's just not.
I think it's also got a lot to do with the pre-existing French colonial side of it. There's a really large French community here. There's a few classically trained chefs like myself in town. And I think a lot of the people that live here are really proud of the fact that the restaurants there have got good reputations.
Yeah.
It's like a cafe culture almost.
Yeah, sure.
Which is what, that's what Kampot's going for it. You've got this beautiful surrounding area, but you've got this beautiful little town in the middle, which you've got that cafe culture. You can sit in a restaurant and, you can have a nice meal and a couple of drinks or whatever. And it's almost a fraction of the price as what you're paying anywhere else.
Yeah, of course.
And it's the same quality, which is great.
Are you ready to show us?
Yeah, you can get some stuff going in the kitchen, yeah. Definitely. Cool, let's do it.
We be chillin' in the stars and we dripping. Got no time to be tripping. Top down, yo, we dripping on the highway of life. Do it my way, known as the flyway. Time flew by, yo, it's Friday. In a state of mind that's so beyond limitations. Building up that foundation with no room for renovations. Make sense of that currency, not chasing dollars, so currently I'm chilling. Trying to fight the feeling, speaking honestly. Out of here with that BS. You should've known that we next. The skills come with
Kampot market, it's very old school.
Yeah.
You know, I still love going to the market. That's where I get a lot of my inspiration from. You know, walking around the market at 8 o'clock in the morning it's not for the faint-hearted, that's for sure.
Right.
And it's hot, it's sweaty, it's crowded, it's catfish jumps out and hits you in the leg.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be squeamish,
Yeah.
but I like it. I get inspiration from it. I'm seeing all these beautiful veg, these beautiful fish, the seafood that's in there, and it's like, oh, what can I do with this? Or I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
What is this? Building relationships with my market ladies has been amazing. I went from a situation where I was going personally myself every day in the market, choosing my own veg, saying this is good, this is not, to the where now I can phone them up and get it delivered. And they deliver me the right product every time because they know what I'm looking for. So I've got a lady who delivers my veg. Her husband's a moto driver. So basically she gets money from the veg. Her husband gets money for delivering.
Yeah.
That's them sorted out. Like,
A little symbiotic relationship.
I'm not giving money to a massive corporation back in the UK
Yeah.
to deliver me the same old veg. This is more personal. Fish I still go and choose every day. And I want to see the gills, I want to see the eyes.
Yeah.
It's something I'm very, you know, specific about my fish when I buy it, what it looks like. I don't want that delivered and then I need
Why
to see
is
everything.
that? What is it about the fish?
It's
that-
freshness, quality, sizes, etc., etc., etc. You know, so I buy a fish. If I'm buying a 4-kilo fish, I want to see the eyes are clear. I want to make sure the gills are bright red and it's fresh that day.
Right.
You know, if it's delivered, I don't get that opportunity. It's delivered, and I've got to phone them up and say it's not fresh.
Yeah.
So for fish, for me, it's like that's my important thing. This is the citrus cured barramundi gravlax, beetroot dressing, watercress, pickled cucumber, and shallots.
It's beautiful.
Things like rosemary and thyme and stuff like that do not exist out here.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a lot of soft herbs, a lot of stuff like that. So it's like really adapting, you know. I'm still using a lot of, I do have to buy things like butter and cheese, which I do use on the menu, which is imported. But then you got things like the palm sugar, which is a great ingredient to use. You can get you started with the pepper. The pepper here is fantastic.
It's
You've
like
got
a-
the green
I think it's-
pepper, the red pepper, the black pepper, the white pepper, fresh pepper, the long pepper,
Yeah, everything.
and it's just, I mean, I couldn't be luckier as a chef. So this one is the grilled chicken breast with a crushed potatoes, broccoli, mushrooms, and a Kampot pepper sauce.
Well, what about you? If you were to go, just an example, if you were to go back to England, how do you think like you would view the setting there? Do you think you'd just snap back into it, or do you think this place has had some kind of lasting effect on you?
This place is definitely a lasting effect on me. I've learnt a lot more patience.
Yeah.
Coming from that, say back in England, high pressure kitchens, I felt myself start to change and kind of become more angrier, if that's the way. So a lot of chefs probably
it's
find that.
Pretty miserable.
And before I started to like become this hateful person, I decided enough was enough.
Yeah.
I want to get out and go and do something for myself and work with other people and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was one of the best decisions. It was the best decision I ever made. And that's the roasted sea bass with truffle mash, bok choy, and a red wine sauce.
Hell yeah, love it. This isn't just natural. Yeah, I have like 2 hours. 2 hours.
Yeah, okay, DNA. Alright with this, y'all, look, it's like this. The coolest nerds you ever heard, word. Better listen to the mission, stopping their motion like robot chicken. Got them glitching like undeveloped platformers. Keep a jet packed on this arcade style with an abnormal game pad. Made it on E.